Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's video is just how I am going to store these die cuts because after the Smash Our Stash video, I got a bunch of questions. And if you're new here, you might have thought I was going to put them away right after the video. If you know me and you've been around a while, you figured she's probably not likely to clean up. But I share my craft room with 2 cats now. So the glass mat over the top is a great way to do it. I could have put my quilting cutting mat too, but I think when I lifted it up, there might be some static and stuff. This has spacers on the back, so not a bad trick. If you were coming back the very next day, that would be a good way to do it. When I die cut some of these, I did some and then I took a break. I had them in this box. And I'm going to show you a couple different things, but the number one storage thing is what do you have? What do you have that you don't have to buy? And then number 2 is what works best for you, right? I'm going to assume you have something that works for you. That clunking sound is Eliza realizing there are more child locks in this room than there used to be. The cats, the Tim Holtz cats, they have tails that will catch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together and think about the fact that they'll snag. So there's a couple different ways I can do it. I can put them down in here and then put a piece of paper over them. Like this is a stamp layer thing. I can just put that right there so they won't snag with other things. And then these are probably a little bit snaggy too, so I'll put those next. The littles I'm going to put in here. Now these dogs, I've had these before. They don't catch on anything. They're perfectly fine. So I'm looking at the edges of things and if they're troublesome. These are also, at least these, they're on very sturdy paper. So that's a factor. So I can just throw them in there. Even if they slide under that paper, it's not going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and all of these dogs, I'm just going to pick them up. Yep, that's Eliza. Honey, it's got a child lock. It's over. It's over. Yeah, she's frustrated. So I'm going to put those in there. Then these dogs, these guys, they have little pokies on them. So let's put them in there. Now, this doesn't have round edges and it is pretty deep. So to get those out, I would either be very gentle with my fingers or maybe like with tweezers, or I have a pickup stick. You might have one of these or one of those like nail jewel things. I have one of those too, but I don't know where. Seriously, I can't make this up. That child lock just went on today, so she's pretty annoyed. It's all part of the craft room redo. And she's not enjoying all the parts. Now, let me show you some other things if you don't have a container like this. And I'm not going to put every one of them in here. I'm going to keep them separated by theme. So I'm going to take my beachy ones and I'm going to separate those. I love these things, clear containers. Here are some. They came with a bunch of eyelets. I don't really want the eyelets, but these unscrew. I don't like that they're all individual. I'm too lazy for that. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to take all of the seashells and I'm going to put them in one. They're all very small. They'll be handy. Then I'm going to take all the stars, especially if this big star fits. Yeah, it does. And I'm going to put the stars in another one. And I'm going to throw the little heart in there too, because actually I'm going to keep the heart with pets. I don't use hearts a lot. Hearts aren't really my thing, but I do use hearts and I love you sentiments and that kind of thing with pet stuff because I am a softie. Big dog houses, they're not going to catch on anything either. Neither are the tags. The tags aren't necessarily pettish, but I had these colors like the wood plank and stuff. I had these in mind. This won't catch either, so I'm going to put all of these right in here. They won't get all tangled up. Those cats, oh, here's another one. Those would definitely, and then these loves. This one's 2 layers, so it's more gentle. I'm also taking into account if your paper is really delicate. This is like a scrapbook 6x6, pretty fancy, but this is a little bit thinner. The delicate papers, keep that in mind too. Don't let them get tangled up. Woof, if I lose any of my letters, then I'm just woo, right? So those are important. We'll put those in there. I'm going to put this tiny dog. He won't catch with those and he'll be safe. And same with these cats. So just think about what you have. Let me show you some more options. When I have big die cuts that might tangle a lot, I've used these quite a bit. So I could have put, especially if you're like a micro sorter, some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, she's mixing them all. Yes, that's what she does. Pets, it's the big category. I'm not a pet sentiments, pet, you know, this, that, and the other. If you wanted to, you could take these and put them in here. I picked these up, a bunch of them, at a thrift store for like $1. And then I had this and I put rings on them sometimes. They were in the package and they're A2 size. So I use those a lot. If you're a card maker, you have envelopes. You could use them. You could use envelopes and you could put a Post-it and then pull it off later. And it could say dogs, cats, dog sentiments, and they would be perfectly reusable. You wouldn't be harming them. Vellum envelopes, if you have those, that'd be great. Any of the old packaging, these things that dies come in. Here's an example too. I put little die cuts that I made from that beachy small pad into a Ziploc that was likely from packaging. I save all the packaging. I don't put everything back in the packaging. Like if you've seen my stamps and dies, they're a nightmare, but I shove all the packaging away and then I have it. I can get out a little bag and put some more of these in. Like these wiener dogs, they're not gonna fit in here well, and I don't want them tangled up. I don't want their little tails to get bent. So I'm gonna take a bunch of these, and if I put them in one of these, in my method, you know, where I just shove a bunch of things and they're gonna get bent up. So another thing that would work great, I'm just not sure if I have one handy right here, is one of these 4x6 boxes that, you know, we call them 4x6 photo boxes if you're a scrapbooker, but they work well. I would also use, if you didn't have something like this, you could use prescription bottles and then label them with masking tape, like stars, pets, you know, paws, whatever you want to put in there. A bunch of these, like these cats, they would probably fit in a bigger prescription bottle. And some of us are at the age where we have those. I have these little glass jars. These work great too, unless you want to go to a friend's house or carry them around the house. You know, they get kind of heavy and clunky to have a bunch of them. So I wouldn't necessarily, we're getting in pass by. She just went on by. I wouldn't necessarily do those for this project. Now, I'm going to put these big ones in here. I'm going to take this tiny, and I'm going to put it in here because I want to keep track of it. And I'm also going to put these. They'll just fit fine right here. And these little bones. I have a couple more little bones mixed in. There we go. Now, if it wasn't for the wiener dogs, I'd probably put them all in here, but I just don't want to get those guys bent up. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, because part of it is weight. You can put more in this box if you separate them and don't let them get tangled or smushed. Smushed is the technical term. I have to get used to the child locks too. So here's an example. It's a very classy system that I have. Here's a bag. This one's a little big. Let's find a smaller one. Here we go. This would be perfect. So you can use kitchen Ziplocs. You can use all sorts of stuff. Another great thing, Eliza Jane, get out of there, that we have used in my circle of friends, not when there were cats involved, is ice trays. If you can pick them up at a thrift store, or you just might have some stashed in your house. Maybe you got an ice maker and you don't use them anymore. Or maybe you're like me and you don't really care about ice in your drinks in the winter. So you could just take them out of the freezer, empty them, and use them. They work great. Ice trays work great for all kinds of little tiny stuff like this. Little letters, bits and pieces. Okay, this will keep them from getting tangled up with the others. And in this box, they won't get smashed or bent. So when you ask, how am I going to put them away? There's all my pet dies right there. And I'm even going to go, not dies, die cuts. I'm going to label it because I forget and I lose track of things. And it should be totally obvious, right? but it isn't always. Depending on how you store things and how you want them, sometimes I label them right here when I put them into the cabinet or a shelf, but I'm just gonna leave these out. This one is my dies, and this one is the die cuts, and this is a super cute box. And I am so sorry, I don't know where I got this, but if you want boxes like this, go out in the garage and steal them. I mean, yes, you can go to Dollar Tree, and yes, you can go buy something that's made in China, but look around your house, look for fishing, tackle box, tool things, those things that the hardware comes in. You know, you have one in your house where you open it up and you look for the nails and the thumbtacks and whatever. Get rid of all that. Who cares about that? Let's focus on our craft organization. So you can use little bags, you can use envelopes, Ziploc bags, ice trays, little tiny Tupperware from your kitchen. I've used that before. A lot of this storage, I don't want to keep this forever. Like, I'm not going to have this box of die cuts forever and ever. If I do, I did something wrong, because this is for a project that I want to use up. So I'm not trying to build an inventory of die cuts and say, she who has the most die cuts wins. I'm saying, you guys should see these on projects. If you don't, feel free to call me out in the comments and be like, hey lady, it's been 2 months and we haven't seen you using those, right? So that gives you an idea of what I'm trying to do. The seashells, they don't take up much room. I used a whole bunch of them, and it kind of depends on what you choose for small pad. So we'll see. Those are some ideas. I am sure that when I end this video, I will think of like 5 more. Feel free to share comments down in the chat about how you store die cuts. I also have some fairly large boxes that were either embroidery floss or fishing tackle or that kind of thing that have rows in them. You've probably seen me with my sentiments in those before. I can't tell you where they are right now. Here's another example if you're trying to do little die cuts. This one has a bunch of small things and then one longer one. These were Dollar Tree. I don't know when. I would guess a couple years ago when I thought I needed all the sequins of the world. You do not need all the sequins, just so you know. So just look around your house, dig through your stash. Maybe you keep your embroidery floss from when you were a cross stitcher in something really cool and you want to swap that out. Maybe you can take all the embroidery floss, put it in a shoebox for now and say, I want to use this for my die cuts. Look around and be sure that you do something that works for you. If you're new here in the world of Clutterbug, I am a butterfly. I am not going to micro sort. I didn't want to spend a half hour or an hour doing this. And when I go to make something with these, I'm going to tell you, it's going to horrify you. I'm just going to take them all out of the box and put them back on the counter. And I'm going to dig around and move them. And then if the girls get involved, I'll put the mat or something over it. I'm not going to have them in pretty rows. I'm not going to line up my containers and use them. That's just not how I work. I'm a big mess making, get in there and see what you have and swirl it all around. Just don't bend the doxies because, you know, I got a soft spot for them. I hope that was somewhat useful, and if nothing else, maybe it was entertaining. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. And if you are a super organized micro sorter, then you probably don't want to get tips from a butterfly. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.